We are back with Linguistic Lips. I missed you guys so much. Today we have a great panel today, but first we're going to talk about, guess what? Date my friend. Don't forget to apply. Submit your friends. Tell them they need to find a man and you're going to help them. So you're going to submit to the information below and we're going to get this show started hopefully in the next 30 days. So guys, don't forget, date my friend. So today we're going to do a whole panel discussion, men and women. Last 2 episodes, we talked to the women, we talked to the men. Now we've all come together to kind of, discuss those feelings that we have. So first thing, which I forgot to do on both of the last episode, is I'm going to go around the room. I'll start with the women first, and I'm going to ask them, what is the definition of a high valued woman to them? So high value, this has been floating around on social media lately where men are saying they're of a certain caliber, they're this and they're that, and there's tiers and this, and if I'm at a high value, this is what I deserve. So to start off as a high value woman, I would say a high value woman, to me, it means a woman of a higher caliber. I put God first. I live my life with integrity. I am loyal. I am a nurturer in my relationships. So I'm of a higher quality. So when I'm searching for a mate, I expect my mate to match what I'm bringing. So just to give a couple of things, what I would consider the high value. So with that being said, you're basically, because everyone's is going around saying, I'm a high value such and such, and this is what I deserve. It's like, what do you mean by that? Well, what makes you high value?
Yeah, I think also classified in that definition is going to be a woman that's educated, intelligent, and you can have intelligence without being, formally educated, but she needs to be educated, she needs to be intelligent, she needs to be able to bring to the table a wealth of characteristics and traits. I mean, she needs to be somewhat independent, she needs to be able to carry her own, she needs to be able to be the personification of class and elegance, I would say.
Courtney?
I would say that. Very respectable.
The
You know what? She mentioned a lot of things I was going to mention there. One thing I would want to say is emotional intelligence. Being able to just control, in situations, certain situations, be able to control yourself in situations, not let yourself get outside of yourself. When the situation is, what it is, for you being able to detour it and just, being able to just handle things, financial is key, being financially independent. Yeah, I feel that's key, as far as being, a woman and being independent in all aspects in life, being able to stand on your own, and bring it together, in a relationship. All right.
As far as a high value man, what's your definition of a high value man, Patrick?
Okay. High value man, my bad. High value man is so I have to be the lock. I have to be the key to her lock. I have to be the hand to her glove. So I have to be able to add to and help complete her and her situation, to add value to her, to be a high value man.
David?
High value man basically is to fulfill, her every need, make sure she wants for nothing. That if you're a high value man, your woman is supposed to, follow your lead. You're supposed to take care of everything. You're supposed to be the provider to everything. So,
First?
Well, I mean, I guess my definition of a high valued man would be something like what my first wife, when she said, I feel like the world was over. I feel like you'd be there for me. I think that if you have a woman that looks at you like that, then you're a high valued man. If a woman can actually look at you and say, I don't care what's going on, you got me. So it don't matter about money, because money doesn't really matter in time of war, for real. It's about who you are whether you or war is over and there's no money, nobody's exchanging anything. Can you barter? Can you trade? It doesn't matter. Can you plant? Can you chop down wood? What can you do to help everybody, progress around you? So a high value man, in my opinion, is a man that realizes where he's at and just keeps on moving. And if a woman can see that, then man, you got a high value woman. But that's not what you asked.
So, since we heard from the 40 and up, really, I want to ask Courtney and Rock each individually, do you feel like you're at a point in your life where you consider yourself of high value, or are you still in a place of learning and growing yourself to get to that point, Rock?
I feel like I'm always high value due to the fact that like I don't lose like my loyalty and things in my heart into the thing. Just like he said, it don't matter about the bread. Bread wise, I'm probably not like, high value in that. But like overall, I still can make sure she's good, go out, still be high value with like loyalty and my character. So I'm still high value. But if it's like the money part, not.
Okay. But so you're saying you think
I mean, not saying I ain't got like
the
no
value
money,
is in
but-
your money, in your pockets?
No,
That's
I'm saying my value is in within me.
Okay.
Is as how I would treat my lady.
Okay.
I'm gonna treat her high value the best way I can. So long as I'm doing right by her, I feel like that's high value.
You, Courtney?
I think I'm both. I definitely think I'm high value, but I also think that I'm also a student and learning too. In my life, and I'm still, hell yeah, I'm learning still, and I'm having fun with it too, though. I am, but yeah.
On the separate episodes with the men and women, we discussed love, and I noticed it was a difference in how we felt about love. It seemed like men was more on the loyalty side of love, and a woman standing by him, and women were more side of love of understanding me as a person. So I just wanted to dive into those differences as far as, because I feel like that's where the communication kind of goes separate, because we're saying the same things. We are basically saying the same things. We're not paying close enough attention to each other to understand what the other partner needs. So, who wants to?
Well, I would say one thing is like I don't think people spend enough time with people to actually even finally find out what one person would really think, which is interesting. I'm glad I wasn't here for when y'all was actually talking. In every conversation, it's always a thought of one thing. Did you listen? And I don't feel like, most men or most women listen to one another either way, and I think that people just don't take that time to slow down just for a little bit and just go like, but this world is so big since we realized it was, but back in the day, it was just your mama's house, your bedroom, your school, and we get to see a little bit of people, and then XYZ. Then when you get to college and you realize the world was bigger than just yourself, your city, your state, your country, the world in a way, but I think that ultimately you wind up missing the conversation. But if men and women would slow down, keep their legs closed for just a little bit, you may find somebody that speaks your same language.
Well, I think because we're in a place where it's me. Everything is me. I'm not going to do because they're not going to do. I'm not going to I'm not going to put forth this effort to do this and that. So like even dating right now is so hard because men are saying they're just trying to get me to pay for their meal. Because I go into dating like, look, we can meet for a drink. I will pay for my own drink. I don't mind because I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for my person. I don't need someone to feed me. I can feed myself. I need you to feed me spiritually. I need you to feed me mentally. I don't need you to pay for my meal. So if you're more selective about what you're looking for and you take those cues from the other person and not start thinking outside of yourself, saying this is the type of person I want. So if you want somebody to be selfless, you have to be selfless,
Dad, I feel like you got something you want to say, man.
Oh yeah. See, the only thing I was gonna say was, I agree with everything that y'all say, but a lot of people are too focused on trying to make their relationship like your relationship instead of having my own relationship.
Right.
Like people see social media and all this
Yes.
other stuff,
Yes.
and they try to base their relationship on this person, that person, this
Facts.
person.
Which is
Like,
usually
I
not
want my
even-
relationship to be like Jay-Z, Beyonce. I want my relationship to be like this. I want my relationship to be like this. Instead of being like, I want my relationship to be like this, so I'm comfortable with myself, so I'm
Exactly,
happy.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree with
I-
that because we did a social thing where our relationship was displayed on social media, and I always had the concept that if it's bad, we're not going to post it, but we're not going to lie when it's bad and post like it's good, because I didn't want to deter people from marriage. I didn't want them to say, you see what they going through? That's why I don't get married. So, and that was when I was married to Chris. It was like, it was a purposeful thing. Like, if our life is not going well, we don't need to let the world know when it's bad. But we're not going to fake like it's good when it was bad.
Right.
Not to say it was bad, but like if we're going through whatever time we're going through. So we posted the good, but you still have to realize people only see the good, so they have the expectation. So when the marriage is over, they're like, what happened? All of a sudden, it's like, it doesn't matter what happened. The fact is, it's over. We moved on. But you can't live in somebody else's relationship. Well, they go out, they do this, they do that. Why you don't do this? That's not us. You don't know what's going on outside of what you see on social media. Like, and that's why I agree with what you say, because we're going to put forth hopefully our best foot forward. But that was in the vein of showing that marriages can work and marriages is important, so.
Can you go back to what you said? Like originally you said the girl said something and the men said, well, the women said one thing and the men said another. What was the key thing that men wanted? And then
Men was like, it seemed like you guys more focused on loyalty. Loyalty. You got my back. No, y'all love was focused in that area, and I think women was more like, understand me, learn me, it's like, but which it's like we were basically saying the same things, but in a different way.
I think that's what caught me was that thought of like loyalty, like it's really same thing, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, like, understand me. Hey, you loyal to me, girl? I got you. I mean, I'm not talking about the max that's trying to take you and run you down through the streets. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about, like, for real, like, I really am a sensitive guy. You loyal to me? I'm loyal to you. Understand me. I really be loyal to you. I think we speak the same thing, but like when we were together, I told you, I feel like it's like a mirror. And sometimes when you look at the mirror and you record the mirror is saying a different way. The mouth is going another way, but the whole face and everything, the language is going another way. Unless you learn how to read backwards, then you don't understand where you're going. So it's like, stop looking in the mirror in a relationship or outwardly in a relationship. Start looking inwardly in a relationship, and you'll be able to find your person for real, sitting right there next to you. She wants the same thing, like understanding, like, right. Mm-hmm. Communication, which means she wants to be understand. Communication. Well, if I was to send out you Chinese to every English speaking person, nobody gonna know what that is. We're gonna know it's maybe Chinese, maybe Japanese, maybe Cambodian. We're like, I don't know. But if I send you out an English message, you're gonna say like, that's what she's saying. Communication. I want to be understood. Man say, I want loyalty. Loyalty is something different. The women is probably doing the same thing. Like, let me rush out here and find my man or any man. Ooh, the best man. Whoa, right there, running out there. So imagine in the men's mind, they trying to find anybody and everybody. Communication's going like, that's great. We realize that there's a ton of us out here and there's a ton of y'all. All we want is just loyalty. So communicate the same conversation one to another.
So how many of us on this panel are single?
Oh,
Single mean you're not married. All right. So like the difficulties in dating, I just want to go down the line and say, like, what do you think? First of all, are you looking for a relationship right now? And second of all, what is your struggle in doing so? Right.
Am I looking for a relationship? No, but I'm not knocking it. I'm just waiting on you to catch my eye. So I don't run into a few girls that caught my eye, took them out. It was what it was. So it's like still another movement.
What is the challenges you facing when you're out here and dating? Like, if you're not looking for a relationship, are you just looking to sleep with somebody?
No, it's not sleep. No, it's no sleeping with them. It's sleeping when them does come in there. But
Say, wait a minute, I will smash.
I ain't gonna say I ain't doing that.
that is important.
But I'm not trying to dip in everything.
But it's like
They ain't all hip.
the next girl gonna be a wife. Any girl I was with, I wanted you to be the wife.
Or
So
at
if
least-
I don't find out, then I'm older, so it's like
At least wifey material.
at least wife and material. Even if I spend 10 years with you and we don't be married forever, I at least want to know we got that connection. And I see a lot of females. Every female has some little side dude they talk
Dang,
to.
that
That
part-
happened to a guy too. They probably got a little side piece they talk to. But if I know, hey, when I call you, I'm the dude that you hang up for the other dude. If I'm weak, there with it, then cool.
Hey, bro, that
Am I gonna
calls
be
me.
main dude or something?
Ain't nothing wrong with being either dude, play
If
your
that's the
role.
place you
But
at.
if we gonna go take it to the next level, I need to know we understand it. Even
You
if
the
I don't
man.
know what you got going on, I ain't gotta go through your phone or nothing. But as long as I know, when I call you, it's he the guy I gotta kind of.
Dang, bro. So that poses a question for me just right quick. So you said 15 years. You would sit around 15 years with a female?
No,
And not married?
I wasn't sitting around 15. I had to cut some females off just cause they do too much.
What's your timeline, homie?
Like as far as what?
If you're dating her to decide if this is worth keep
This the
moving
one.
along, moving along with
No,
it or
the
not.
girls I were with, it went like a month. It was like a month.
Used to be mine.
Back
It
to
was
2
like a
weeks.
month. I was just messing with
month.
this one girl.
So
in
how did we get to
February.
15 years, my guy?
10. He said 10.
Still.
No, I'm just saying if it goes to 10 years, then let it be. But I don't want it to do that though.
What's
I do
your
want-
max time dealing with a female,
Before you
dating
say
wise?
you're not wife material. Like,
before she's not white?
that was the next question. When do you guys know? When do men know?
Yeah,
that she
Yeah,
has
I want to know that.
About a week or two. I gotta be around you.
I know within me entering this building, talking to you, and
If
before
you
I
wife
leave it,
material?
if you
I
wife,
see your motion. I see how you
Facts of
move.
life. I like G Money. I'm with G Money.
That people
I
do at
know.
least a 6 month
My character right
You
there.
know what I'm saying? You
Yes,
see
it
the
is.
woman you said
Be real.
you think she's the one, and then it takes you
Yes,
how
you do.
long before you say I'm going to
She said 2
Marry
weeks.
you.
marry her?
Because you can see a female. I went around a female, went to a crib, beautiful as crap, restroom dirty. So it's like, is she pretty? Breath stink.
16 on my list. Good hygiene.
You said she pretty.
Good hygiene.
Like I think you need to give 6 months to see like the multiple faces of a person. You know what I
Oh,
think?
wow.
You know what I
That's
think?
dope.
And
Yeah.
that's regardless of
But
sex, man.
is
woman,
it love at
woman.
first sight where you say, "Oh, I think she the one," in that
That's the
first
6 months, like you
conversation, and
said.
then you be like, "Let me see where this go."
I
Or
think
are you just
But there's
saying
a
difference
difference
between men and women? Do you see this woman and say, "I think she just one"? Let me see where this goes. Like, yeah, she probably
Basically,
want this.
but there's a
Like,
difference between
like,
there's a
like,
difference
that's
between I
it.
think she's the one, and I know she's the one.
Right.
There's a difference.
But wait,
I see how
ladies.
they hit her, and I think she's the one. This
Ladies, hold on.
Just love
No,
at first
I
sight.
know she's wifey.
No, ladies, same question though. By the way, is it love? Y'all believe in love at first sight? Are we talking about that?
I feel
Well, I
like
do.
when I'm having the conversation with the man, of course, and we already know this because I say this almost every time. I got to be physically attracted to you. You know, I may be on the manly side of that, but I got to be physically attracted to you. I'm literally just tell you the story. Like I just met some dude the other day, and I'm like, okay, he's physically attractive, blah blah blah. I'm like, you're gonna have to call me on the phone. We have to talk. Like you're in my age. Like we ain't gotta do this texting stuff. And then he said, I'm going to go check on my mom to see I'm like, oh, you check on your mom to see? I was like, all right, check. I'm going down my list. And then I was like, where do you work? Oh, you work at UPS. Okay, you been there how long? 15 years. I already know about that picture because my stepdad worked there. I was like, all right, he got a good job. He's been there for 15 years. Good, check. You got a clear vision for your life. I'm going down these things. And then, I ain't gonna lie, he sent a dick pic. But anyway, so that was the what?
Don't just slide that through. That matters.
Right,
Send us
yeah.
penis
Picture
pic.
that.
Oh, penis pic.
I said good morning, and he said good morning back, and he sent the picture. I'm like, sir, you look very sad. For one, and then I was like, no, I said you have to. My mind mentally before you even get there. Oh, I can do that, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give him another shot or whatever. So I was like, conversation. I'm so shallow. I'm sorry.
Really?
I already asked him where he was from. He said he's from Alabama. So when I called him, he answered, and he sounded like he was from Alabama. So I never talked to him
Well,
again.
the vet is from Alabama. Let's be very careful.
Yeah, Mobile. Alabama.
No, when
Very
he was
careful. A lot of good people in Alabama. I love Alabama.
Well, I stayed in Alabama.
The vet don't
Just
talk
the
like
dude.
she from Alabama. So if you from Alabama and you talk like you from Alabama, that was it. That was strike 2. So I'm
He
gonna
from
get
Mobile, Alabama.
At a certain point, at a certain stage,
My baby from Mobile, Alabama. That's a big city in Alabama.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I should have ruled out because it was unsolicited. But I explained to him, I'm like, sir, this does not impress me. This happens every other day of my life. Like this is not.
I'll leave him alone. If he
yeah.
respected you, he wouldn't send you
Yeah.
dick pics.
So you,
He would have been like,
check on your mom.
so-
You said
so-
check on your mom. That was like
Show you
So
something
unsolicited private part pics, I will always say to every gentleman that's out here, one, it's a never. One, it's an absolute never. Two, when she asks for it, the picture, you tell her no.
yeah, especially
That's
if
what
you
you
want
do.
something more serious and
Yeah,
if you're looking
you
for
tell her
something.
no.
Because I'm like, when they do that, I go back to my profile, like, what on here made this person think that this is okay? Let me read what I wrote. Let me see the pictures I post. And that's literally what I do. And I make adjustments.
but a guy could like you just off making you laugh.
And-
If
and
a
it-
guy have a conversation, you smile and laugh, you like, I can hit that. He'll try. He'll keep
But
trying
so now
to
you understand what we were talking about when we were talking about it though, right? So it goes in the mind first. Look, listen, it goes in the mind. Listen, and look, I'm not saying everybody that got any good. The whole point is a female. We can censor this all you want to do. You put on another, like this may be a Patreon. If you want to make a female come, I promise it's not about the size of your penis. It's about the love in your heart, honestly, for her, and the conversation that you had before that ever even happened.
Yeah.
Don't ever touch her. Just leave her alone. I promise you, the best way you kiss a female on the neck. If she loves you already before you ever kissed her or touched her at all, she will probably just literally just melt. Just like you do. Just like you do.
Penetrate my mind before anything else.
Just like you do when she absolutely touches you the first time. You feel it. Bro, come on, guys. Just stop being weird about it. We are sensitive. As soon as that woman touches, we go like, oh, shoot. Goodness gracious.
Well, let me. I want to say something. Yeah, I agree.
You say that.
That's their love, though.
It's not. No, it's not. Look, it's a sensation. The lust goes in if you just go in, you just go and do it, and it's over.
Yeah.
It ain't love.
It's
Not if you just starting. It ain't.
Well, no. If you just started, it's the
Have you ever look,
Situation.
okay, so I would go with that. Okay, so if you was to ever grow a orchard, right? Or an apple tree, just one tree, right? But if you ate the sprout of the apple tree, you got one seed, like Johnny Appleseed, right? You literally take one seed and you put it down. As soon as it start growing, you go, eat it up.
And it should taste good.
Right. Did you really find out the real fruits that tree could produce?
No.
So I alluded to this
You ate
in
this-
men's conversation when we did that one, that episode. It takes time.
Yes.
Number one, communication. Everything that everyone has really spoke on has been communication.
Right.
You have to effectively communicate to have anything. And that, of course, takes time for you to do, for that love to grow. For everything revolves around effective communication when it comes to something successful in a relationship.
Do you feel like nowadays a relationship is really built on sex first? Is that the culture we're in now, where everybody's saying, "Let me see what it's like in the bedroom first before I invest time"?
I don't think it's no different than it's ever been. There's really nothing new under the sun. It's just the way it's presented. See, once upon a time, we just didn't see it all. It was there. Now we see it all. Everybody is always recording, doing this, doing that.
I don't know.
So we
I don't
see
know.
everything.
I don't know if the influence has brought about what we're saying now. I think this generation right now, I don't recognize. I have nothing to do with it per se. But what I do see, I can't imagine living my life out here, going somewhere, meeting someone immediately, and then feeling like I'm willing to smash. Like, that's so crazy to me. But I understand that this is what people are out here doing. And I would love to know how you guys, from a gentleman's standpoint, think that's okay when you don't know these women, you don't vet these women.
It's not
That's crazy to ask.
It's more.
I don't know.
Put in more work though before?
It's,
Now
it's
wait,
more
wait, wait.
visible,
Well,
but it's not new.
Let's be clear.
was
now.
it just as easy though? That's what I'm
And
saying.
it was for me.
We should go back to what brother said. It's nothing new up under the sun. They've been doing this for thousands of years. First of all, don't know somebody. Man, get out of here about knowing you. First of all, that's what
They
I'm
had
saying.
big orgies and everything.
Yeah,
That's
come
what
on.
they say the oldest occupation is.
If you take it
What did they
back,
say?
prostitution.
Prostitution.
Yeah.
And that's
So-
right?
Please,
So
yeah,
that's the oldest.
that's what I'm saying. So, like, when you really get down to
that's
the
what
balls
you're
of it
doing.
and the crux of it, it's really one of those things. Like, what are you
That's wrong.
doing this generation? Like, what? This been doing it for thousands of years. Or what will happen is that we're talking about high value
Yeah,
women.
you've been doing it for thousands of years. Well, I'll interject by saying you've been doing it for thousands of years.
How's it working?
But no, not only that, but you didn't have the education of knowing what's out here in these streets. Like, how can you
Still.
steal? Like, where's the education
Gonorrhea,
in
syphilis,
impacting
herpes.
decisions?
Well, we already knew about that, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is,
Yeah,
it's
that-
morphing, it's changing. It ain't evolving
I
necessarily.
mean,
It
the
might be- it
risk
might
for
be
your
doing
own
all
lives
this. It might be
has
doing
no
this.
impact on the
If you
organ,
go
it
too
appears.
far back, a guy really supposed to have a lot of wives. Nobody really want to hear that, but you really do. Like Neo got going on. He got that. You really supposed to commit to one girl. It's really hard. It's really hard for a guy to commit to one girl. You're really supposed to have a lot of wives.
It was just giving a history.
I mean, the Old Testament was established as a school bus
In
to
the name
teach you.
in the name of my Lord, our God, I'm going to correct
To
you,
do
sir.
better.
I'm going to correct you, sir. First of all,
Do better.
You gotta do better.
David. First of all, David. First of all, David didn't have a lot of wives. Solomon, his son, had many wives. David had a couple. But at the end of the
I didn't say
day,
how many. I just said it's supposed to have
we said many. A lot is a lot.
100. I'm just saying, like,
But can I
it's
say-
supposed to be more than one woman, technically.
Well, hold on. So then, what you're saying is that I disagree with Jesus, which is fine because
I
I
don't-
mean,
I
I was heartbroken.
After to correct all
Look,
that.
I was
So you're not under the Old Testament.
Listen, I'm with you. I was heartbroken when I read in the
I
Bible.
love one woman for the record. I want
Look,
one woman.
I was heartbroken when I read that Jesus said, "Oh, you can only have one." Like, oh, Jesus said that? Oh no! Now it's done. Why? There's got to be a reason, right? So it's got to be a valuable reason. That Solomon, if you read the book of Solomon, not just the fact that he had so many wives, but he said he did everything he wanted to. Everything his heart desired, and he was the wisest man in the Bible to that time. For this day, right? So he really did go and do everything in his heart that he could possibly do. He said everything abundant that he could possibly think of. He did. I built this and it didn't give me it's vanity. I did this and that's vanity. It didn't bring me no that everything. He's the wisest man that ever lived. But the only thing that gave him really true peace was one, his relationship with God. Two, the Holy Spirit was God watching in him, with him. And then the next thing was absolutely just his life. You know, his life, he appreciated his life. And so I would say that Jesus brought one thing, slow it down. Trust me, when you find, he that finds a wife, single.
A good thing.
That finds a good thing.
I said for the record, I want one lady though.
He knew y'all was too broke to take care of a bunch of wives at a time. Anyway, you can't afford.
Oh my God. Yeah, no.
That's different.
It's supposed to be like a family partnership.
But hold on, listen,
You can't afford any part of your life. You can't afford mentally, emotionally, financially to deal with several wives. You
Oh my
cannot.
God.
You smell Bob Marley. He had like 6 to 8 ladies that loved him.
But let's be very.
That don't mean he could.
It's like it's a
he couldn't get
friendship
the
thing.
with everybody, please.
I was at that point, like, and I'm doing
You
that
can't
whole
give
that
the
hot
proper
sweat moment
attention.
what she just said.
Right.
Because the fact of the matter is, if you could not afford, you have to understand that during those times when they actually had 1,500 or 900 wives or 600 this they could absolutely afford it. Yes,
That's true.
So it wasn't just a man would turn his daughter over to you.
Yeah,
It was a dowry. It's
You
like,
had
I
to
could
pay.
afford for her to be here. And it was like, that's what he said, you want me given into marriage. Did the woman love the man? It didn't matter. The fact is, honey, you could be, you could produce,
queen.
no,
A princess.
that's it. You could produce an heir for a family, and that next heir could be king, right? So a dad during that time or a family at that time would invest their daughter into a king. And that man is a kingmaker in that scenario. So you have to understand, you cannot just say, oh, because he had so many wives. No, they were hoping that the next legacy of Solomon.
That's a business
You gotta
move.
look at
They made a business. It's always a business move. That's why I said having 4 females, that's a business move. Look,
Okay,
you can pay this, you can pay that. I don't agree with it, but I'm saying you can look at it in that way.
as well.
Speaking on that of business,
yeah,
are we at the
yeah,
point
yeah.
where relationships is really a business transaction?
Oh,
where
God, yeah.
we're at the point where, like, you know, forget the love, let's have sex and split the bills. Like, are we
can be
It depends.
are we at that, Courtney?
I don't.
What do you
I
think?
think that
hope
it
not.
depends. It depends on what kind of relationship you go in with your person. It can't be transactional.
You say purse or
100%
person?
is transactional.
She said,
That's
I
you said
learned
purse
years
or
ago.
person?
Go ahead.
You said purse
your,
or person?
Your person. Like
Oh, okay,
what
I
you,
thought you said
And
purse.
I learned years ago, like, okay, you look at it as you look at a business. You said a business transaction. What are the two types of connections in a business? You have one that could be a what is it? You can take them over. You can
You
be
do merger and acquisition.
A merger
We talked about
acquisition.
before, yeah.
Yeah, merger acquisition.
M&A.
So if it's an acquisition, that ain't what you want.
You know, you're gonna have to put something more in to make it.
Because you're taking
yeah.
you're taking the liabilities. You have one bigger company that's taking over the other one. So I'm carrying you, or you're carrying me. However it goes, we need a transaction that's going to be a merger where we are two strong parts separately, and we come together and become stronger. As
I don't
one.
think that's everybody, because you got, again, some men or some women that out here like, you know what, I got everything. I need you to come in. I'm going to acquire you, but you know what? I have expectations of you to do X, Y, Z for me because I'm the leader in this.
So you're coming in making demands because
Yeah.
I have expectations.
Not to say it's right or wrong, but
so
it's
because I'm a
people out
stronger
there.
company, I'm
Yeah.
setting the rules.
Yeah.
So I'm acquiring you. Now, how long is that weaker company gonna deal with that? How long is that weaker party gonna deal with
Depending
that?
on how much would they get in the acquisition.
It depends upon right. So
Are you taking with women? It's like, okay, he's paying all the bills, he's taking care of me. I don't have to work. I just have to have his kids, and these are things I need to do.
But
I'm okay with this acquisition.
I would want my girl to work just in case something happened to me. She got her own.
Then that's the
thing.
merger. Yeah.
But, you know,
So I wouldn't like, but I would want to do all that, take care of the bills and all, make sure she good. But I need her to have something else to fall back on herself.
But-
Have car accidents all the time. We got kids,
bro.
If I'm going, she shouldn't be like, oh.
Well,
I
if
do.
we- but
Well,
if
yeah, that's
we-
why you gotta be
if
independent,
we
yeah.
married,
And bring it to the
if
relationship.
we're married,
Everything's
you're
in the
covered.
line.
You're
Yeah,
covered
line.
anyways. If something happens to me, if we're not married and something happens to me, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
If we're married and something happens to me, you, the kids, the house, everything is taken care of.
That's how I need.
and that's something you gotta, determine in getting to marriage.
Yeah.
And are we gonna be able to survive as a business structure to get to marriage with this type setup or that type setup? I feel like you gotta have a merger in order to survive.
Again, this is an age thing too,
See,
because
now-
at this point, with most of us kids are grown out the house, it's just me and you, and it's like there's less liability in those situations. So it's more likely that you may move on quicker, or you be able to stick around because it's just us. This if I can hold me down on my own, and you can hold you down on your own. Something happens to one of us, we can still
We good.
float the other person.
We good.
Now we got a bunch of kids between us, 7, 8, 10 kids between us, and something happens and the whole boat go down because we was depending on daddy over here to take care of all of this. It's a different situation. That's what I say. Depending on what part of your life you're in, relationships look different. But now everybody is making it like it's all the same. It's like, how is that possible?
I seen my sister get divorced because she was working and dude won't work. She asked him to work at McDonald's or Burger King. Had a good. I don't want to do that. I do welding. She loved
He
me so
wasn't
much. She
doing
was
welding.
she was good to. It took him to leave her for her to get over him. That's how crazy that was. But when she found a new person, the same thing happened to his wife. He already had 2 kids. She left over 4 kids. Now they a whole happy family, got a house and all that. She found her mate.
She grew.
And she knew him since she was 16 to like 20 something.
Oh, she did that. What they call it?
10 years for her to get that buck there. Like, it don't matter what you do.
She spun the block.
He's still not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's I feel like even in the conversation of men versus women will tolerate a little bit more in relationships than I feel like men will. They will.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. I was gonna say this earlier. I didn't want to say something. I was gonna say earlier. Hold on one moment.
In a serious
I was gonna
relationship.
say this.
Let me see. Earlier, she was mentioning about the guy sending her the penis pic. So it just made me think about, we're talking about, relationship and dating now. Yeah, it is more toward guys geared more toward sex. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let me show the woman I got, show, how I'm well endowed, all this kind of stuff or whatever. And it's about, sex kind of thing. So it is kind of geared more to that. Even listening to the episode, I don't know, everyone watching the men's episode, I heard a lot of the men having a lot to say about sex. It was like, oh, I got an opinion about this, what I like, don't be boring. Well, yeah, but it was just more, y'all had more.
Don't be boring in bed.
Yeah, more interjected about spice it up, don't be boring. But when it came to love, more of emotional, that's where we're at as far as women. More, yeah, it was kind of like, okay, let me think about this a little bit more. But I mean, y'all said things, but.
Yeah,
I noticed that, and
as a whole.
As far as what they were saying, as far as the sex, it was a lot of things they said. As far as them being, they want to be comfortable.
They want her to initiate. They want her
to make sure that, oral. It's how that woman looks.
So
for her to jump up.
I want oral what?
But when it came to love, it was cold.
Well, because they ain't thought about that for the young child.
I think it's a little different though. I think we're a little bit more simpler. That's why when we love, that's all we need is you just to understand us.
We'll show you up them books.
Y'all got a whole book. You need to be like, we need time for love.